Hello Nissan Skyline fans. If you watch my channel, you'll find, or search my channel, you'll find many reviews of Skylines. It wasn't intentional, it's just that this is a really popular, namesake, I guess, in the diecast community. I'm not sure what, I guess for Asian cars, it's probably the most popular car nameplate replicated. Alright, let's see here. We have an Inno64, in case you didn't read that. I believe the internet told me that in 1989 this car won the Japan Touring Car Championship. Let's see here. We got some official licensing here, and then a little line art there. Just kind of a lame background there for the racing team. No tape, so not bad as far as the tightness goes. This one's very sensitive. You see that tiny antenna there, so I'm not going to remove it from the base. We got a nice, printing what the car is when it raced, but it doesn't say champion, so please correct me if I'm wrong on that whole champions thing. I got this model from diecastmodelswholesale.com. This is the 7th generation Skyline. It's called the R31, as this image here shows. Probably one of the lesser loved Skylines, because let's face it, it's a bit boxy looking. It looks very, I don't know if this would be considered an attractive vehicle or not. Not to me, at least. Okay, so the 4-door R31 came out in 1985, and then in 1986 the 2-door came out, and then in 1987 the GTS-R came out, and I think that's what this thing is. So this must be a 1987 or more vehicle, seeing I was racing here in 1989. I guess this car, the 87 one, was a base for the Group A touring cars in the Japan Touring Championship. And like many Skylines, it was an inline 6 and 2 liters. Okay, so I'm not gonna, again, take it off the base because that antenna, and there's a tow hook in the front. But let's try to get this thing focused here on the front wheel. There we go. Look at that. That's a nice mesh wheel. Let's see, we're at 3 times magnification here. That is awesome. I don't know how else to say it. The perimeter bolts are molded into that chrome outer rim, but then I think that gold mesh is probably a photo etched piece of metal. And then they have this blue, knockoff. I wonder if this side is blue and red on the other side. No, they're both blue on each side, so that's a shame. Sometimes they, switch the colors, but maybe on this car they were blue on both sides. That the rear photograph, I don't know if that's a real car. I think this one again. Sorry, like coughing. I don't know if that's the real race car because the wheels are too big, right? The other photos, you can see the higher profile tires or the smaller wheel inner, right? So this might be a copycat, but it's the only rear photo I could find. So just keep that in mind for the comparisons if you want to pause the video and decide for yourself. Lost focus. Okay, anyways, so this wheel is nice. I don't think there's a brake system back there. I didn't see it. Alright, let me try to zoom in one more time, this time at 4. I don't know. I don't think so. It's just black back there, and that's fine. Okay, well, even at this magnification, you can see, there's a GT, kind of at a GT logo there to the left of the tire. And actually, let's go back. The tire themselves, they're not slab-sided. They're actually curved, so those are great tires. They're racing slicks. This sponsorship is looking pretty good. The race car drivers' names. Hoshino, Kitano, looks good. All this printing, is it decal? It's a decal. That's one issue with the Inno64 I'm not a fan of. They don't tampo print their graphics in most cases. You can see the gap there in the door, how the clear decal just covers that air. So that just it detracts from the, realism for me. And then, it might crack in the future, which is more bothersome. There is a molded door handle here, but can't see much of it. But you can see the separate mirrors do have a shiny sticker in there, so that's cool. And actually, while we're at it, we got the roll cage here, as high as it can go underneath that clear window on the roof, under the roof. And then there's only a racing seat, and look at the door panel. It looks like it's gutted. Unfortunately, there's some distortion. See? I'm guessing that door panel is specifically for a race car interior. Doesn't look like a street car door panel. I don't know if we're going to get that angle, but I'm going to guess, being an Inno, there's going to be some gauges there in that instrument cluster. Let me get the good old flashlight out. Yep, there you go. Bunch of gauges, probably a decal, and that's fine because I'll never touch it. Yeah, that's a better. It's got a racing steering wheel, no airbag. Yeah, the rest of the dash seems well enough. And it's a racing seat, and you can see the seat belts kind of floating as a decal. The shifter seems tall, some sort of computer box, and a fire extinguisher there. So good stuff. It's a gutted rear as well. The whole interior is gutted like a race car would be. So I think that's neat that Inno goes through the trouble of reproducing race car interiors differently from the interiors of the street cars. Okay, so apparently we've moved to the roof, and you got this antenna. It's not just an antenna jammed into the casting, but there's actually a base to it, you know, this little round black thing, so I think that's pretty neat. And then what's weird, you see, the graphics up here, I think they might be a tampo, right? I don't see in that wrinkliness. Or do I? Maybe the 12? No. I think that wrinkliness is tampo printing. But the Calsonic, you see, I don't see any wrinkliness between the letters, but correct me if I'm wrong. My phone screen's pretty small. And then, but the windshield banner, yeah, that could be a decal. I can see that clear spacing. Maybe it's a decal. Maybe those are decals on the roof. I don't know. What about the graphics here on the hood? I think those are tampos because, let's go back to this side. See, look how wavy and noticeable this clear is, right? It's very noticeable, the orange peel. But I don't see that here, right? This is paint, I think. So they're tampo printing the top, I think. They're using decals on the side. So I guess it's better than all decals all around. I just hope they can eventually get to just all tampos because, you know, these models are expensive and I'd like them to last forever. That's probably not, well, is that realistic? I mean, Hot Wheels seem to last 50 years, no problem. Alright, anyways, a little black on the wiper fluid ejectors, looks good. The wiper blades are molded in, painted black. Yeah, nice shot of the interior again there. Little vent details are nice. Electrical cutoffs and all that stuff. The headlights, hood pins even. These hood pins look shiny. I don't know, I think those might be foil stickers. They're so reflective. They look silver one minute, black the next. These headlights are fantastic. You know, it's not just a clear lens, but, you know, you got the depth and the light bulbs behind it. And they're silver, of course. This vent is deep and it's painted black. Looks good. So Calsonic printing looks good. All this printing. Tiny little photo etch metal red tow hook. All the black in here. A little texture. Little orange paint for the turn signal there. Anyways, it's a great front end, I think. You might be asking a little too much to add orange plastic here. That thing's tiny. This is a really fine dental pick, you know? So, probably like a millimeter, those orange turn signals. So I think paints are okay there. If it was a resin model, it might be plastic, but Innos don't cost resin prices. So side markers printed on again. Then this side looks pretty good, but now we're noticing we have two exhaust pipes and there's a little bit of depth in the middle in the holes, and they're painted black, so I think that's quite realistic looking. You can see the exhaust running up to the front. Looks good. Yeah, now I'm noticing now the black printing on the casting for the window molding and a little black on the clear plastic bit. Alright, defroster lines, they're okay because you can actually still see the interior, so that's nice. I think this Potenza is tampo printed, black out of the molding, and there's a rear wiper as well, printed black as well. Gonna guess maybe these are the fuel fillers, and this one's a little bit offset. I don't know. Now this looks like a decal. You see this wrinkliness? You can see the border of the clear, and all here is clear decal, but you don't see it up here. So again, separate wing, body colored, looks good. All this badging on the back looks good. Let me get a better angle to focus. It's nice to see something in the license plate area. And then we actually have these little shiny, latches to hold the trunk down. And then these taillights are pretty sweet too. It's smoked plastic, but then you can clearly see behind it you have the silver and the red. So there's a lot of depth there. Look at that. It's just like black, and then it comes around. They show up. The Fresneling or the striations here. Those are nice. Those are really nice. Okay, these little things are printed on, and they're printed on nicely. And then another toe hook I didn't notice before. And I guess for later, they'll probably have a street version, or I think they already do, and that's where the exhaust would come out there. I'm noticing a little silver for the differential underneath the car. I'm also noticing the silver next to those tires. Those are for brake rotors. So I'm sure the road-going car would have brake rotors visible through some street wheels, but I think they skipped out on this to save on money, which is fine because seeing brakes through such small mesh, that's asking a lot for the price of an Inno, I think. I think I got everything. It's I very often forget a lot of stuff, but I think I covered everything today. Anyways, flawless model, right? I mean, design choice of using decals is poor, but the execution of everything seems to have been flawless. All the decals are at least laid on nicely. There's none missing. There's none scratched. Alright, you pulled it off. Yeah, most of the time, like 90% of the time, I'm quite happy with what you guys do. You and Mini GT are my favorite brands, for sure. Inno has more detail. Mini GT has a great price, less detail. There's something for everyone out there in collecting, of course. So it's a good time to be a collector. Alright, sadly I don't really have anything to compare to. Yeah, I just started collecting here in the States, so I don't have any other oh, wait a sec, my bad. It's not really the same era. It's a race car, sure, but it's a Le Mans racer. It'd totally destroy this car any given Sunday. But this is by Sparky. It's a 917K. This is the 24 Hours of Le Mans winner in 1970. And sadly, Sparky as well uses decals. And you'll see in the review of this one, these white stripes are literally floating on air. So they're just, man, if you touch those, it's just going to crack off. So it's horrible. But it's still a cool looking car. Okay, so I guess that's it for kind of a lame comparison there, but maybe it's better than nothing. Alright, well, I guess that's it. It's all goodness today. So, I'll let this spin around one more time. Bathe in the glory of the R31. Maybe you guys, if you're bored, leave a comment. What is the nicest Skyline generation? What's your favorite generation of Skyline? You got the Hakosukas. I think that's probably my favorite. Then the Ken Marys are nice. And then the R34, that's a favorite of mine. Those would probably be my top 3. But everyone has their own thing. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next review. Cheers.